Guten Tag, everyone! My name is Laidback Luke, and welcome back to Ruffle stomping the enemy team into submission, causing them to quit the game forever, and you have a lot of fun in World of Tanks. Today, I'm going to waste your time for about 5 minutes by playing in a Cromwell B platoon with the famous British dude, the streamer, the YouTuber, the one that is married to the Pepmeister, Quickie Baby, and the one who is soon to be a father, Irishman of the Year, John Harmon. And we're playing a Cromwell B on El Haluf, and we're top tier, and there's not much to say about this game really. We are a 3-man Cromwell platoon on... well, actually no, John is in a Rudy. Damn it, John. You and your damn dogs, barfing all the way through the game. Anyway, where was I? I wasn't really anywhere. I was just starting to talk about random stuff and things. Let me just start something else then. There has been a new campaign announced in Russia, the Battle of the Titans, or Birth of the Titans campaign, which has 3 reward tanks. The Chieftain T95, which I have, the IS-5, which I have, and the KV-4 Krezlavsky. It took me 5 attempts, but I got it. KV-4 KV-4 Krezlavsky. These weird Russian names, man. And this campaign will be a tier 8 campaign, just like the last campaign, the Typhoon campaign for the Chieftain T95. Now, I made videos about the Typhoon campaign, and I made videos about the Blackgold campaign. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to watch those videos, but I do warn you, they are a couple of hours long. A couple, only a few, just 5 or something in total. Now, the fact that we played a lot of Himmelsdorf on these campaigns meant that the videos were full of Himmelsdorf. Now, there will be a twist for this campaign, the Birth of the Titans campaign, if it comes to Europe. Yesterday, when we were training for, tier 8 strongholds and clan wars, John said, our team is not going to play Himmelsdorf. And the reason for this is the last 4 campaigns we have played Himmelsdorf. And to be honest, it kind of gets boring every single time playing the same map for about 4 hours a day for 2 weeks straight. Yeah, that gets kind of boring. So John said, my team, whoever is in that team, Phil, Alec, those people, will play mines. So with permission, if I can get it from the John Harmon, this campaign video, if I will make one, will contain mines instead of Himmelsdorf, which will be a rather nice difference from, the last 2 campaigns that I recorded and put on YouTube. I don't think I've put mines as a campaign video map yet, I believe so. Now at this point you must be wondering, what is the KV-4 Krezlavsky? Oh, come on. Krezlavsky, there we go. Now I'll leave a few links in the description as to the stats and the pictures of the KV-4 Krezlavsky, but the thing is, it says 200mm of frontal armor in the hull. Now that's all fine and dandy, but we all know World of Tanks when it says 200mm. The whole front isn't 200mm, only the lower plate is. Let's have a quick look at what is actually the weak spot of this tank. There, the whole mid-plate, the frontal mid-plate where I guess the driver sits, and possibly a radio operator. That is where the weak spot is. And the interesting thing is, I said that the lower plate was 200mm. It isn't. It's 180. So that makes me wonder, what is actually 200mm in the frontal hull armor that the stats say that it has 200mm of frontal hull armor? Oh, I could be wrong here. This was old stats from earlier. Apparently the frontal hull armor is just 180mm. My bad, sorry. I read this wrong. You know what, a 4-minute, 44-second video is kind of short, so have a second game. Have a game with me playing in the T-54, the ever so balanced Heat 54, Alec playing in his Heat 54. And again, your favorite Irishman, John Harmon, playing in the Leopard PTA. Now let's get back to the story about the KV-4 Krezlavsky. Yeah, I finally got it. I finally know how to pronounce it. KV-4 Krezlavsky. A lot of people thought when I said the KV-4 Krezlavsky in the QSF TeamSpeak that I meant the KV-4 KTTS, the TD version of the KV-4. But no, the KV-4 Krezlavsky is more of a prototype version of the KV-4. It has the KV-4 gun, it has about the same mobility, it is extremely slow, it has a lot of armor, and it has a lot of similarities to the KV-4. So you might be thinking, if I can have the IS-5 and the Chieftain T-95, why would you pick the KV-4 Kreslowski? Well, in my case, if I get to pick a tank, I have to pick it, because I cannot choose either the IS-5 or the Chieftain T-95, because the game will say, but you already have that in your garage! So yeah, I have to pick the KV-4 Kreslowski. And to be honest, in this campaign, if I personally don't get to pick a tank, I wouldn't be sad. I would not be sad, because the KV-4 Kreslowski is just, in my opinion, not interesting. I might as well just play the KV-4. But if I could have a premium KV-4, why would I pick the KV-4 Kreslowski if I can have the much better IS-5? See, the fact is, this is just a tank that Wargaming made, had no clue what to do with, so they just made it a Clan Wars reward tank. And if you are a KV-4 collector, which is kind of weird because there's only one KV-4 so far in the game, you might be a bit sad saying, but I want this in the KV-4 KTTS. Well, we don't know how the KTTS is even going to be in the game, and the KV-4 Kreslowski is just not going to be good. Now, there might be a few in the audience there, like you and the guy in the back there, that say, I like the KV-4. Okay, fair enough, you could like the KV-4. But if you can pick between the KV-4 and the IS-3, would you pick the KV-4? If you can pick between the KV-4 Kreslowski and the IS-5, I'm pretty sure you would pick the IS-5. None of them have premium matchmaking, so that wouldn't really matter. And then the IS-5, you have the IS-8 hull at tier 8, so if you are top tier, you have much better hull armor than the KV-4 Kreslowski, because that has 140mm of weak spot right in the front. And then there's also the fact that the KV-4 Kreslowski has the single worst DPM of the KV-4 IS-5 and IS-3 combined. The KV-4 Kreslowski has 2000 DPM, whereas the rest has 2200 except for the IS-3, but that has a 390 alpha gun. And the thing with 390 alpha gun is, you know, if you have been hit with a 390 alpha gun. So maybe it has superior gun handling. Not really, it has basically the same gun handling as the normal KV-4. Alright, so if not the gun handling, maybe it has better power to rate ratio or something like that. Technically, yes, it has better power to rate ratio than the normal KV-4, but still worse than the IS-5 and the IS-3. Its terrain resistance? No, not good. Its traverse is just not as good as the IS-5 and the IS-3. It's slightly faster than the KV-4. It has that tremendous weak spot in the front with 140mm. It has 1500 HP together with the IS-3, that's low compared to the KV-4 and the IS-5. So what is the whole point of the KV-4 Kreslowski? There is none. There is no point to the KV-4 Kreslowski. It is just another tank that Wargaming can put into the game, and they had no clue what to do with it. I think they were working on a third heavy tank line, and then for some reason it didn't work for them because they didn't have enough tanks, or they just didn't like it. So they have all these tanks made, or maybe not the tier 9, tier 10, but a few others, and they just put it in as a Clan Wars reward tank because they had a tier 8 heavy tank left. Or they found blueprints of it and thought, well, maybe we can do something with this. Well, they cannot make more tier 8 heavy tanks for the Russians because we have so many already. Here, I'll name all the tier 8 heavy Russian tanks that we have. The IS-3, the IS-3A, the IS-5, the IS-6, the KV-4, the KV-5. Then there is the KV-4 Kreslowski, which is the reward tank, and there's the Kirovets 1. Now the Kirovets 1 is a IS-3 prototype with a flat frontal hull, and we will see that tank in the future, and I'm surprised that is not the reward tank for this campaign, to be honest. And if we can get one more kill on this platoon, and John gets it, we have another crucial contribution.